that? Do you like that, Brian King Hosein? Do you like it? Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese, and we are back for Wild Card Weekend. See, last weekend was Super Wild Card Weekend, and this is Wild Card Weekend. And yes, we have brought back Mr. No Chains, Mr. Kings Vikings. Yes, he's shown up despite his team's embarrassing performance against the G-Men. His quarterback, Kirk Cousins, who everyone is crying for and praising, getting outplayed by Daniel Jones at home. He's come back to try to defend his team, but we'll get into that after because we're here to make our picks right now. But don't worry, Brian. We'll save that for what's on our mind. And hopefully you survive this segment to get to there. But my first question is, did you like that? I don't hear anything about you. Did you like it?
Apparently you liked it.
That I'll tell you this, Brian, but we're going to get into our picks, but that was the greatest 4th and 8 throw I've ever seen in my life.
Stop it. Don't. I'm heartbroken.
And for all you Vikings fans out there,
you guys were grilling me on that group chat. I turned off my phone. That's how hurt I was. I'm not even lying. I'm dead ass serious.
Okay, so that's our opening salvo, but we'll get into that more on what's on our mind. I am joined as always by Jose Carlos Gomes and Gil Santos. Brian has decided to join us for some picks this week, although I don't know why he'd pick anything after looking how his team was last week. But we'll let him get in on the picking.
Said, come on, the picks. So yeah, I'm here, baby.
Well, you know what? You're on the show this week because Gil picked the Vikings too, and we can't kick him off the show. So
hey, Gil, can we go? Yeah. Can we go golfing next weekend?
When the weather is better, we'll go.
Brian, you have to understand something. For Gil Santos to pick Kirk Cousins in the playoffs is one of the greatest miracles we've ever seen on this show.
Not really. You know how much I like the G-Men.
That's true. He picked the lesser of two evils. You see, he had to pick over the G. He had to pick your boys over G-Men and Daniel Jones because he has a hatred for them. Just as much as your Vikings. So the fact that he hates the G-Men more, you should be proud of. But let's get into our picks, and we'll get into that stuff after. We have 4 games to pick from. Last week, we were all 4-2, which means the standings remain the same. Jose is 1 game ahead of Gil Santos. I'm 8 back and cannot catch the boys. But we're going to have Brian get...
I'm not with you guys on all of that, right? So, okay, cool.
No, you can make your pick when we come to you. Just give us a name, a team you want to pick, and that's it. But for us, it's just... We've done this the whole year, and we have to finish it.
Can I say, Reese, shout out to everybody that's watching the Reese Report. Andrew Reese, Gil Santos, Jose Gomez. They know what they're talking about. I'm here with you as the audience, and we're just gonna. When it comes to my picks, I'm just gonna do it with you guys out there that maybe not be too educated.
Hey, anyone can make picks and do it well. Gil's sister finished like 3rd in the fantasy football pool. So let's not act like you have to know anything.
Damn.
So anyhow, let's get into our picks. Just a reminder that Brian's from To The Point. You can see above his head there. That's his shirt's there. So if you want to contact him, it's at To The Point. Now let's get to game 1. Game 1 is Jacksonville, who made one of the greatest comebacks we've ever seen, 27-0 down, to come back and win 31-30 over the Chargers. Gil, say it with me quickly. San Diego Shitty Chargers. They just found another new way to lose a game, and they've been the same shitty Chargers, Gil, since we've known each other. So we should have known better. But we all picked the Chargers and lost. But they go to Kansas City this week to Arrowhead, the rested Chiefs. Trevor Lawrence had 4 turnovers, was making Gil look really, really good about how he thinks his career is going to go. and then the second half happened. So I'm going to start with Gil on this one because Trevor Lawrence is the Jekyll and Hyde of Gil's life. So let's see who he likes in this one.
Well, I'll tell you one thing: he's not coming back from that if it's playing the Chiefs. You know what? But I think he'll stay close. But Chiefs at Arrowhead, all that noise. Jacksonville just don't have enough for the Chiefs. I'm gonna take the Chiefs.
Jose, who do you got?
The streak will end. Lawrence will lose his first game on a Saturday ever in his career. I think KC is going to win this. They're rested. They're ready for the playoff run. Jacksonville, they shouldn't have been in the game last week. There's no way they should have came back. San Diego should have taken that. LA should have taken that game, but it is what it is. Football's like that sometimes. We seen your Minnesota come back from a 33-point deficit. So it is what it is. But no, I think KC is going to win.
Okay, I'm going to call the upset here. I'm going to take Jacksonville. I'm going to take Jacksonville because when teams do this in the playoffs, some magic happens. I saw this with Cincinnati last year. They rode it all the way to the playoffs. Kansas City's defense is average and can be had. These two teams met earlier in the year. Jacksonville did come back a little bit to lose by 10. There were some turnovers in that game that led to the demise of Jacksonville, but it was only 20-10. So I'm going to call an upset here. I could be totally wrong. Kansas City should win this game, but I'm going to call Jacksonville to upset. Brian, we know you haven't been on the show making picks, but who do you like?
Honestly, look, Trevor Lawrence has not lost a Saturday game like Jose just alluded to. Shout out to you, my man. But so honestly, and they're playing on Saturday, right, guys? They're playing on Saturday. So honestly, I think I already placed my bet, and I got Jacksonville on the Saturday. I know it's a tough one, but I just don't want to see Patrick Mahomes' wife and brother doing TikToks. I really don't want to.
I would much rather see George Kittle and his girlfriend do TikToks.
There we go. I'd rather see Trevor Lawrence dressed as his girlfriend with the long ass hair. But I'll take Jacksonville on that one. I think they can squeak out the upset. That's a possibility. I already put money down on that, so I'll go with you on that one.
I will say this: the spread, I think they cover the 9.5. Absolutely. I don't think it'll be a blowout.
Definitely.
Now we go to a game that I cannot wait to hear who picks who. The G-Men! That's right. The G-Men who went to Minnesota and kicked Kings Vikings ass, go to Philly to take on the sort of struggling Eagles with a quarterback who might be hurt. Brian Daboll. That's right. Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, and the no-name receivers, Thibodeau, coming to injure another quarterback. And since Gil is such a big fan of the G-Men, I'm being sarcastic, people. Let's see who he picks in this game.
Well, the G-Men played well against the Vikings. But Vikings screwed up there too. Like, they played bad. They kind of, it was a weird game, let's just say. I was watching it and confused. But I think Hurts will give the Giants a hard defense with the quarterback option of the pass run. I think it's in Philly. It's a rivalry. I think Philly wins.
Jose?
It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a hard-fought battle. But in the end, I think Philly will pull it out. I just think, like, all the teams that get a bye, the first-place teams, though, that always get a bye into the divisional games, they always end up, like, 85% of them end up winning this game. They got everybody rested and stuff like that. So I'm going to take Philly at home to beat the Giants.
I watched as Philadelphia took a 19-0 lead on the backups and almost blow the game. It makes me want to take the Giants to win outright. However, I'm going to take Philadelphia. I think they win this game. They went to New York. They won 48-24 with their team healthy. I believe they come in healthy and they finally end the Cinderella story. I'll say this though, it's going to be a close game. If you get 7.5, take the Giants. It will be a close game. Um, Brian,
What's the spread
it's
on this
seven and a
game
half.
again?
Philadelphia is a 7.5 point favorite.
Okay. Well, let me say this. The Giants, they did take out my Vikings. So I will give them a little bit of credit. But you know what? Listen, man. Honestly, the way Philly has been playing, like you do have to give some credit to the Giants. Like Gil, I'm pretty sure you could agree with me. Like Saquon Barkley, yo, Daniel Jones is going to be a superstar, man. That kid can throw the ball and he can run. He's he, he's like a next Mike Vick, right?
I don't know about that, but he's getting better.
He can run the ball, right? And they do
Oh,
have
if
weapons, and I get that, but I do see Philly still overpowering them. So I will agree with you guys on Philly taking that game.
Yeah, Daniel Jones has been very impressive the second half of the season. Gil, what were you going to say? You're going to say something about Daniel Jones?
yeah, I was just gonna say he's running pretty well, but he better start sliding more because
Yes.
uh
I know he's diving forward.
he's trying to get that extra yard. He's gonna get hit bad soon. So if he
Yeah,
doesn't slide, he's fair game. But he better
we
start
saw what happened to
sliding.
Trey Lance. We saw what happened to Hurts when he didn't slide. You know, quarterback's going to slide. Otherwise, you're in trouble. Now we go to one of the more interesting games of the week as the Cincinnati Bengals, who have a right to be pissed off, go to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Cincinnati obviously had a chance to get home field in this game, but didn't get that opportunity for obvious reasons. But they go to Buffalo now. Um, this is a very tough game to pick. Josh Allen continues to turn the football over. He had 2 interceptions, a fumble, and 2 other fumbles that were not lost. Uh, he just very careless with the ball. Very tough and interesting game. Josie, I'll start with you. Who do you got in this one?
I've gone back and forth, man. I even talked to you on the phone the other day. It's just it's an even matched game, and they're both good offenses. They have half decent defenses, both teams. Um, I was gonna take the Bengals, but just for what happened to Hamlin and stuff like that, I'm taking Buffalo, man. I think Buffalo. This is the year. If they don't do it this year, then that team is never gonna win. They're never gonna make a Super Bowl or never. So I'm taking Buffalo.
Yo, Gil.
Um, I don't know. I watched both teams struggle. They won, but they struggled. I watched Cincinnati had to take the ball out of a quarterback's hands at the one. The confusing play, and I watched them run back the other way. That's the only reason why they won. And Buffalo, well, if Tua was there, they would have lost to the Dolphins guaranteed.
Yeah.
So they both sneaked out a win. They're both great teams. But I'm just gonna go home. I think Allen is gonna get it done.
Okay, I picked the Bengals to go to the Super Bowl, so I'm picking the Bengals. My problem with the Bengals is their offensive line. Um, they've got a couple of injuries there, which could really lead to trouble. However, Cincinnati with no offensive line last year beat Kansas City and Tennessee on the road. If Allen turns the football over in this game, they're going to lose. And I would expect that he'll put it into harm's way a couple of times. So I got Cincinnati winning this game by a field goal, and I'll call the upset there. And then we'll have a crazy Jacksonville at Cincinnati AFC Championship game. Wow, will that be crazy? Brian, who you got?
Okay. I said it at the beginning of the season. Bills versus the Vikings in the Super Bowl. So I'm still going to stick with the Bills on that one, even though all three of us are from Toronto. So we're all at that age where we had no choice when we put on the TV where we had to watch a Bills game, right? We had no
Yeah.
Right.
choice.
Yeah.
Until now, thank God for technology. But even though despite my hatred for the Buffalo Bills, I do think that kid Josh Allen, and plus I got to go with my boy that used to play for the Vikes, Stephon
Diggs.
Diggs, right? Yeah, I got to go with that. I see them coming out from Cincinnati because it's slipping my mind. What's the Cincinnati Bengals quarterback's name again?
Joe
Joe
Burrow.
Burrow.
Yeah, Joe Burrow. I don't think he has it in him to play in a playoff game. I think Buffalo really wants to prove something. So I'm going to go with Buffalo by a touchdown. Reese, you said by a field goal. I'm going to go with by a touchdown.
Yeah, I got Cincinnati by a field goal. I think that if Buffalo plays
Yeah.
the way they did against Miami and against New England the week before offensively, they'll lose this game. Because if not for two punt returns, they would have lost to New
I'll
England.
give them my change.
They won't play the same because it's a different game, man. When you play a divisional like a divisional opponent, it's always tough, tough, difficult games when you play like Miami's, New York Jets, especially that's the third time that you play each other. This game's gonna be a total different game against Cincinnati. They saw what happened. Honest truth, if that thing didn't happen again in Cincinnati with the player
Cincinnati
going
wins
down,
that game.
I think so too. The way they were playing,
Yeah.
they wanted that. I think they
Right.
wanted that game. That was a wake up call for Buffalo. I think with Hamlin getting back, he's with the team now. They're hyping up all the players. I think Buffalo they have to, man. They have to win this game, especially this game
Yeah.
against Cincinnati because of all that thing that happened. I think Buffalo.
Especially since we're all at that age where we remember Jim Kelly getting those couple L's in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I haven't forgiven the
I think
Buffalo
maybe their
Bills for
time is due.
I haven't forgiven the Bills for benching Doug Flutie. So, I don't care about the
Yeah,
Bills.
no shit. Can I say that? No shit.
Yes. So now let's get to the main event. The Dallas
Here we go.
Cowboys, who kicked Tom Brady's ass likely into retirement or to Vegas or wherever else he's going to play. My
Or to
stupid
another
ass
girlfriend.
my stupid ass picked Dallas the whole year to beat them, and then I changed my mind like an idiot, and the better team won. So they go to San Francisco, who destroyed the Seabags and put Geno Smith back to pasture. Brock Purdy,
Give Skip some shit because that's his team.
If Brock Purdy played more games this year, he would have been the rookie of the year by a country mile. He makes all the big plays, he makes all the downfield throws, and thank God that's the end of Jimmy G. But I'm not going to talk about him. It's Dallas at San Francisco, a rematch of last year, and I believe it was in Dallas where San Francisco won with a way worse team. You can guess who I'm going to pick. The 49ers win this game and win it easy. Jose, we know who you're picking. Is it going to be easy or close?
It's going to be a close game. I think the Dallas Cowboys defense will keep them in the game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. But San Francisco, like you said, last year they bet them with a weaker team. This year they have more weapons around,
and they're at home.
And exactly, and they're at home. The only thing I'm worried about is right now this is going to be the first test for Brock Purdy against a solid defense. Okay, he hasn't played any solid defenses yet during this time as the starter. So he's still. I still think the Niners are going to win this game. It's not going to be a blowout, but San Francisco will squeak one out, and they'll go to the NFC Championship game.
Gil.
Well, Jose read my mind there. Purdy's going to have a tougher defense to play. I think this is gonna go Dallas's way. I really do. I feel that it's gonna be a pick. It's gonna be something. Dallas looked solid. Tampa Bay's not an easy team to beat either. Um, they played well. I think Dallas is gonna go into Levi's and take the jeans out of them. And then since the kicker missed 4 extra points last week, I think the kicker makes it up and he kicks the game-winning field goal with 3 seconds left.
Yeah, the Dallas defense, I had them in fantasy this year. In the first half, they were one of the best defenses in the league. In the second half, they were awful. And you're going to have to face that offense now. Good luck. Better take the ball away. Otherwise, you're in a whole lot of trouble. And by the way, Parsons, welcome to Trent's world. Good luck. Brian, who do you got?
I guess we're going to go 2-2. Gil, I like you, man.
You and Gil are a
I guess
team
we're gonna
now.
go 2-2.
That's it.
Yo, man, listen. I honestly, look, I hate the Cowboys. I can't even lie about that. Like Cowboy fans, we call them cowgirls on our Vikings pages.
Cooper Rush is my favorite quarterback.
Yeah, and then Big Zeke. Like, come on, like, yo, they need to chill with what they're doing. But honestly, the team that they have put out there and what they've been doing, like, they've surprised the shit out of me, dude. Like, I couldn't even believe how much they're going through this offseason. Like, honestly, I didn't even think they'd make the offseason. But now they're standing against your San Fran team. I know Reese, I know Jose, I know you guys are more biased towards San Fran. And cool, right? Hopefully they win just because I love you guys. But honestly, when I look at it, I think, you know what? Dallas does have it to take out your team. Like, your team is honestly amazing on offense and on defense. And Jose, you've said this to me multiple times on this show that if San Fran were to ever play my Vikes, that they wouldn't let Dalvin cook and they take the fuel out of the jet. Of course, but with Debo Samuel and everybody, Brock Purdy, like Reese, you said Mr. Irrelevant to Mr. Relevant, right? And I think they have potential, but honestly, I see Dallas stretching this out. Like, Gil, you my dude, bro. You're my man. I'm telling you, like you just said, maybe at 3 seconds left, that kicker comes on and takes the game. That's
Hey,
where I'm
Gil.
going.
Hey, Gil, what did Sam Howard do to that Dallas defense?
Yeah, but that just happened. This is playoffs.
Oh,
now.
so Brock Purdy,
this?
Dallas is shit in the
This
playoffs.
That just happened.
This is the battle. This is the battle of the 90s.
Listen,
So
let me tell you
Brock
guys,
Purdy's going to do even worse than Sam Howard.
When we wore our starter jackets.
Hey, let me tell you. It's fine. You guys can take Dallas. That's not a problem. You guys are entitled to. But the problem is, what's the weakness on that Dallas defense? Is against the run. And what's the strength of the 49ers? The run game. That's all I gotta say. We'll rush it.
And then the play action pass, baby.
And then we'll rush it down your throat for 300 yards.
I hope you're right.
Packers last year. Don't worry. We don't need to throw the ball. Right.
I would love to see that, Jose.
We don't need to run we don't need the ball. As long as we have that run game, we'll rush the ball down their throats until they stop us. And then they're gonna put the box. They're gonna cover the box, and then there goes the short passes to Debo Samuel for run after the catch. I can already see the game. The only thing I'm scared about is the Dallas game is the wide receivers. They're strong wide receivers, and the secondary of the Niners is the weakness of that defense. But if we can get pressure to Dak Prescott, and Dak Prescott is a quarterback that can't read like coverages and stuff like that very well. Last year he struggled against the Niners defense. This year he struggled against good defenses when he played against them. He struggled. If you zone up, like make a couple of different changes on the offense, get him confused, he'll throw the picks. He's not a guy that reads the game very well. So
this
but
is
if
Dallas and Washington all over again, people.
Yeah. And if you give him time, he'll burn you. Like, absolutely. Last week he had time. He found these wide receivers wide open against Tampa Bay. But then again, Tampa Bay doesn't have a run game.
No.
They don't have. They're weak on their, and they're just a passing team. And they took advantage, the Cowboys, because they're good secondaries, very good too, right? So, and they get to good pressure on the quarterback. But I'm telling you, the Niners will. Kyle Shanahan will have the game plan ready for that team, man. And I think the Niners. It's not because I'm biased. I just think the Niners have more weapons right now, and their defense and offense are clicking.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Brian, I picked against the 49ers. In fact, I picked Dallas to win the game last year against the 49ers. So it's not a bias thing. I just think San Francisco has the better team. They've won 10 in a row, and they have the best defense in the NFL by a country mile, as Gil has already said. Gil's afraid of the defense. Okay. And now the offense has come along with a better quarterback who can make downfield plays. So unless Dallas takes it away, they're going to be in trouble. If the line goes down to 3, take San Francisco, people. So we got about 2 minutes left. That is our pick show. When we come back on the show, we're going to talk about what's on our mind and really let it all out. And we're going to give King his therapy session because, man, was he a jumbled mess watching that game last week. So we're going to get his thoughts. We're going to have what's on your mind. We're going to see what's on Jose's mind. We're going to see what's bothering Gil or what's on his mind. And we will do that when we come back on the Reese Report. But until then, I'm the Mouth of the North, Andrew Reese. That is Jose Carlos Gomes. That is Gil Santos. And that is, unfortunately, Kings Vikings, Brian Hosein. We'll see you right back on the Reese Report.